I just watched a video in my car, of course, on YouTube of another Canadian who just got his update of 2019.40.2.1. Since my car had just gotten up to the 40.2, I wasn't expecting the updates that he got for a while, but I went into my settings and it was set to advance and supposed to get the update, but nothing was there. So I actually just went to standard. I pushed it back to standard and then pushed it back to advance, and about 3 seconds later the line popped up in the middle here saying update available. Now I'm not sure if it was about to come down anyway, and maybe it would have just popped up had I not done that, but that's an interesting turn of events. So I'm now going to wait until I get a Wi-Fi connection and get this one installed. Right, it's downloading, it's almost there. That's interesting because I've only been back about a minute and it must have hooked into my Wi-Fi and started downloading right away. Okay, well, I've turned the screen on to day mode just to see this. The install is now ready, so let's do install now. And then we'll tap that 3 times and let it do its thing. It's now going to install this update. Alright, we've got Supercharger improvements, automatic wiper improvements, automatic lane change improvements, and then we go into the previous stuff. Well, we better get into it. Surprisingly, I've had very few nags. Maybe because my hand's resting on the wheel, but it seems like it's, I don't know, I guess if you had to put a human interpretation on it, the car seems more confident. Certainly driving quite well. The roads are in pretty good shape. It's about -10, -15 Celsius, and the roads have cleared today because it's been sunny and warm enough to have it clear a little bit, but it seems to be driving very well. It's not weaving too much at all, so I'm quite impressed. And this is obviously 2019 40.2.1. Indicated that it's going to do a lane change, but I better hurry up because there's traffic coming on both sides. Thank you. Interesting that it says it's not requiring me to do anything for it to lane change, but it flashes or nags at me when it wants to do a lane change. Yeah, the hypocrisy's not lost on me. Here we are at Cross Iron Mills. This is where the Supercharger is. Apparently there are some free bays, so I'm looking forward to getting a fairly fast charge. Well, it's pretty busy out here at Cross Iron Mills. We've got 7 of the 8 stalls filled, which means I'm not getting much of a charge. Well, it's starting to ramp up here. Had about 5 minutes wait before it started charging, and because Crossiron Mills is very busy, as you can probably see, there's lots of Teslas coming and going. What I didn't expect to see is some, how do I put it? A human being with a Model S behaving with a sense of entitlement, parking across two spots and not plugged in. And I didn't notice he wasn't plugged in, and I'm trying to struggle to get into a spot beside him, and about 2 minutes after I hook up and sit down, he just drives straight off. He didn't even get out of his car. He wasn't even plugged in. I would like to use an expletive or call this person some names, but I think if they ever see this video, they'll know who they are. Don't do that. It's bad enough we get internal combustion engines parked in these spots. But anyway, as soon as he was off, that freed up 4A and 4B here, and I shifted my car to 4B and tightly put myself into the corner and plugged in, of course. Then somebody came parked right beside me about a minute later and plugged in, and they're probably warm and ready to go, and probably draining way more charge out of the the charging unit than I can get. So I'm not holding out too much hope getting much above 40 or 50 kilowatts, but we're hopeful. It says about an hour to charge, which is fine. I can check on it when I'm inside the building, getting a bite to eat. Okay, we're done for the evening. It's coming up to 9 o'clock. I've been into the mall, the food hall, across Iron Mills, had a bite to eat, come back, played a couple of games, and now I'm heading home. As you can see, it's charged about 375 kilometers. Last time I was up here, I think I got it up to about 380, but it just wasn't moving for the last couple of minutes, so I decided just to call it a day. Interesting. That was a big semi it was passing, and it was starting to change lanes, but slowed down the lane change until it got past the semi. Little nuances, I guess, in the lane change algorithm. Don't argue with something bigger than you that might get in your way. Okay, upcoming lane change. I'm going to see how this thing figures it. There's a car right there. It knows it's coming up. Okay. It's done it just fine. Well, that's pretty cool. Fairly confident. Now it's just decided to go completely offline. Wonder what that was all about. Let's come back again. And see if it'll do a lane, go back. I was certainly applying pressure to the wheel, so if it wasn't sensing it and it just disengaged suddenly, it's allowed me to go back in, so I don't think that was the case. Usually it puts you in go to jail, do not pass go, until you stop and put the car in park. But here we go, it should come off here. Woo! That's a little sharp. Yeah, I'm applying some pressure. My hand is always on the wheel. Not as heavy as you'd like it to be, but it's there. Here we go. It's still on navigate. It's now decided to go back up to the regular speed limit after dropping to 70. It does that every time I come through here, and I'm not quite sure what that's all about. Anyway, let's call it a day. It's all over the place, but it's still trying to drive. And if, for those who have that update that shows the orange cones, I didn't see a single orange cone up on this screen, so I guess that update didn't make it to Canada. Here we go.